Massachusetts, officially the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, is a state in the New England region of the northeastern United States. It borders the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Maine to its east, Connecticut and Rhode Island to its south, New Hampshire and Vermont to its north, and New York to its west. Massachusetts is the sixth smallest state by land area. With over 7 million residents as of 2020, it is the most populous state in New England, the 16th most populous in the country, and the third most densely populated after New Jersey and Rhode Island. Massachusetts was a site of early English colonization. The Plymouth Colony was founded in 1620 by the Pilgrims of the Mayflower. In 1630, the Massachusetts Bay Colony, taking its name from the indigenous Massachusetts people, also established settlements in Boston and Salem. In 1692, the town of Salem and surrounding areas experienced one of America's most infamous cases of mass hysteria, the Salem witch trials. In the late 18th century, Boston became known as the cradle of liberty for the agitation there that later led to the American Revolution. In 1786, Shays' Rebellion, a populist revolt led by disaffected American Revolutionary War veterans, influenced the United States Constitutional Convention. Originally dependent on agriculture, fishing, and trade, Massachusetts was transformed into a manufacturing center during the Industrial Revolution. Before the American Civil War, the state was a center for the abolitionist, temperance, and transcendentalist movements. During the 20th century, the state's economy shifted from manufacturing to services, and in the 21st century, Massachusetts has become the global leader in biotechnology and also excels in artificial intelligence, engineering, higher education, finance, and maritime trade. The state's capital and most populous city, as well as its cultural and financial center, is Boston. Other major cities are Worcester, Springfield, and Cambridge. Massachusetts is also home to the urban core of Greater Boston, the largest metropolitan area in New England and a region profoundly influential upon American history, academia, and the research economy. Massachusetts has a reputation for social and political progressivism, becoming the only U.S. state with a right to shelter law, and the first U.S. state, and one of the earliest jurisdictions in the world to legally recognize same-sex marriage. Boston is considered a hub of LGBT culture and activism in the United States. Harvard University in Cambridge is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, with the largest financial endowment of any university in the world. Both Harvard and MIT, also in Cambridge, are perennially ranked as either the most or among the most highly regarded academic institutions in the world. Massachusetts's public school students place among the top tier in the world in academic performance. Massachusetts is the most educated and one of the most highly developed and wealthiest U.S. states, ranking first in the percentage of population 25 and over with either a bachelor's degree or advanced degree, first on both the American Human Development Index and the Standard Human Development Index, first in per capita income, and as of 2023, first in median income. Consequently, Massachusetts typically ranks as the top U.S. state, as well as the most expensive state for residents to live in. The Massachusetts state bird is the same as Maine state bird, and if you want to know about it, then go back to episode 19 with the state of Maine, and the video is in the description of this video. Maine and Massachusetts' state bird is the black-capped chickadee. The chickadee became the state bird on March 6, 1927. Epicea repens, the mayflower, trailing arbutus, or ground laurel, is a low, spreading shrub in the family Ericaceae. It is found from Newfoundland to Florida, west to Kentucky, and the Northwest Territories. Ulmus americana, generally known as the American elm or, less commonly, as the white elm or water elm, is a species of elm native to eastern North America. The trees can live for several hundred years. It is a very hardy species that can withstand low winter temperatures, but it is affected by Dutch elm disease. The U.S. state of Massachusetts has 14 counties, though 8 of these 14 county governments were abolished between 1997 and 2000. The counties in the southeastern portion of the state retain county-level local government. Barnstable, Bristol, Dukes, Norfolk, Plymouth, or, in one case, Nantucket County consolidated city-county government. Vestigial judicial and law enforcement districts still follow county boundaries even in the counties whose county-level government has been disestablished, and the counties are still generally recognized as geographic entities if not political ones. 3 counties, Hampshire, Barnstable, and Franklin, have formed new county regional compacts to serve as a form of regional governance.
Top 10 largest cities in Massachusetts.
Number 10, Fall River, Massachusetts. Fall River is a city in Bristol County, Massachusetts, United States. Fall River's population was 94,000 at the 2020 United States Census, making it the 10th largest city in the state. It abuts the Rhode Island state line with Tiverton, Rhode Island to its south. Located along the eastern shore of Mount Hope Bay at the mouth of the Taunton River, the city gained recognition during the 19th century as a leading textile manufacturing center in the United States. While the textile industry has long since moved on, its impact on the city's culture and landscape is still prominent. Fall River's official motto is "We'll Try," dating back to the aftermath of the Great Fire of 1843. Nicknamed the Scholarship City after Irving Franklin founded Dollars for Scholars there in 1958, Mayor Jasil Cora introduced the Make It Here slogan as part of a citywide rebranding effort in 2017. Fall River is known for the Lizzie Borden case, the Fall River cult murders, Portuguese culture, its numerous 19th-century textile mills, and Battleship Cove, home of the world's largest collection of World War II naval vessels including the battleship USS Massachusetts. Fall River has its city hall located over an interstate highway. Number 9. New Bedford, Massachusetts. New Bedford, Massachusetts. Acushnet is a city in Bristol County, Massachusetts, United States. It is located on the Acushnet River in what is known as the South Coast region. Up through the 17th century, the area was the territory of the Wampanoag Native American people. English colonists bought the land on which New Bedford would later be built from the Wampanoag in 1652, and the original colonial settlement that would later become the city was founded by English Quakers in the late 17th century. The town of New Bedford itself was officially incorporated in 1787. During the first half of the 19th century, New Bedford was one of the world's most important whaling ports. As economic height during this period, New Bedford was the wealthiest city in North America per capita. New Bedford was also a center of abolitionism at this time. The city attracted many freed or escaped African American slaves, including Frederick Douglass, who lived there from 1838 until 1841. The city also served as a setting in Herman Melville's 1851 novel Moby Dick. From 1876 to 1900, New Bedford served as the initial home port for the Revenue Cutter School of Instruction, the precursor of the United States Coast Guard Academy. At the 2020 U.S. Census, New Bedford had a population of 101,079, making it the state's 9th largest city and the largest of the South Coast region. The city is also known for its high concentration of Portuguese Americans. New Bedford remains known for its fishing fleet and accompanying seafood industry, which as of 2019 generated the highest annual value of any fishing port in the United States. The city is also home to the New Bedford Whaling Museum and New Bedford Whaling National Historical Park. Number 8. Lynn, Massachusetts. Lynn is the 8th largest municipality in Massachusetts, United States, and the largest city in Essex County. Situated on the Atlantic Ocean, 3.7 miles and 6.0 kilometers north of the Boston City line at Suffolk Downs, Lynn is part of Greater Boston's urban inner core. Settled by Europeans in 1629, Lynn is the 5th oldest colonial settlement in the Commonwealth. An early industrial center, Lynn was long colloquially referred to as the City of Sin, owing to its historical reputation for crime and vice. Today, however, the city is known for its contemporary public art, immigrant population, historic architecture, downtown cultural district, loft-style apartments, and public parks and open spaces, which include the oceanfront Lynn Shore Reservation, the 2,200-acre Frederick Law Olmsted designed Linwoods Reservation, and the High Rock Reservation and Park designed by Olmsted's sons. Lynn also is home to Lynn Heritage State Park, the southernmost portion of the Essex Coastal Scenic Byway, and the Seaside, National Register-listed Diamond Historic District. The population was 101,253 at the 2020 United States Census. Number 7. Quincy, Massachusetts. Quincy is a city in Norfolk County, Massachusetts, United States. It is the largest city in the county and a part of Greater Boston, being Boston's immediate southern suburbs. Its population in 2020 was 101,636, making it the 7th largest city in the state. Known as the City of Presidents, Quincy is the birthplace of 2 U.S. Presidents, John Adams and his son John Quincy Adams, as well as John Hancock, the first signer of the Declaration of Independence and the first and third governor of Massachusetts. First settled in 1625, Quincy was briefly part of Dorchester before becoming the North Precinct of Braintree in 1640. In 1792, Quincy was split off from Braintree. The new town was named after Colonel John Quincy, maternal grandfather of Abigail Adams, and after whom John Quincy Adams was also named. Quincy became a city in 1888. For more than a century, Quincy was home to a thriving granite industry. The city was also the site of the Granite Railway, the United States' first commercial railroad. Shipbuilding at the Four River Shipyard was another key part of the city's economy. In the 20th century, both Howard Johnson's and Dunkin' Donuts were founded in the city. Number 6. Brockton, Massachusetts. Brockton is a city in Plymouth County, Massachusetts, United States. The population was 105,643 at the 2020 United States Census. Along with Plymouth, it is one of the two county seats of Plymouth County. It is the 6th largest city in Massachusetts and is sometimes referred to as the City of Champions, due to the success of native boxers Rocky Marciano and Marvin Hagler, as well as its successful Brockton High School sports programs. Two villages within it are Montello and Campello, both of which have MBTA commuter rail stations and post offices. Campello is the smallest neighborhood, but also the most populous. Brockton hosts a baseball team, the Brockton Rox. It is the second windiest city in the United States, with an average wind speed of 14.3 miles per hour, 23 kilometers per hour. Number 5. Lowell, Massachusetts. Lowell is a city in Massachusetts, United States. Alongside Cambridge, it is one of two traditional seats of Middlesex County. With an estimated population of 115,554 in 2020, it was the 5th most populous city in Massachusetts as of the last census, and the 3rd most populous in the Boston metropolitan statistical area. The city is also part of a smaller Massachusetts statistical area, called Greater Lowell, and of New England's Merrimack Valley region. Incorporated in 1826 to serve as a mill town, Lowell was named after Francis Cabot Lowell, a local figure in the Industrial Revolution. The city became known as the cradle of the American Industrial Revolution because of its textile mills and factories. Many of Lowell's historic manufacturing sites were later preserved by the National Park Service to create Lowell National Historical Park. During the Cambodian Genocide 1975 to 1979, the city took in an influx of refugees, leading to a Cambodia town and America's second-largest Cambodian American population. Lowell is home to two institutions of higher education. UMass Lowell, part of the University of Massachusetts system, has 3 campuses in the city. Middlesex Community College's 2 campuses are in Lowell and in the town of Bedford, Massachusetts. Arts facilities in the city include the Whistler House Museum of Art, the Merrimack Repertory Theater, the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, and Sampa's Pavilion. In sports, the city has a long tradition of boxing, hosting the annual New England Golden Gloves boxing tournament. The city has a baseball stadium, Edward A. LeLacheur Park, and a multi-purpose indoor sports arena, the Tsongas Center, both of which have hosted collegiate and minor league professional sports teams. Number 4. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Cambridge is a city in Middlesex County, Massachusetts, United States. It is a suburb in the greater Boston metropolitan area, located directly across the Charles River from Boston. The city's population as of the 2020 U.S. Census was 118,403, making it the most populous city in the county, the 4th largest in Massachusetts behind Boston, Worcester, and Springfield, and 9th most populous in New England. The city was named in honor of the University of Cambridge in Cambridge, England, which was an important center of the Puritan theology that was embraced by the town's founders. Harvard University, an Ivy League university founded in Cambridge in 1636, is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Lesley University, and Holt International Business School also are based in Cambridge. Radcliffe College, a women's liberal arts college, was based in Cambridge from its 1879 founding until its assimilation into Harvard in 1999. Kendall Square, near MIT in the eastern part of Cambridge, has been called the most innovative square mile on the planet due to the high concentration of startup companies that have emerged there since 2010. Founded in December 1630 during the colonial era, Cambridge was one among the first cities established in the 13 colonies, and it went on to play a historic role during the American Revolution. In May 1775, approximately 16,000 American patriots assembled in Cambridge Common to begin organizing a military retaliation against British troops following the battles of Lexington and Concord. On July 2, 1775, 2 weeks after the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia formally established the Continental Army and appointed George Washington commander of it, Washington arrived at Cambridge Common to take command of the Patriot soldiers camped there. Many of these soldiers play a role in supporting Washington's successful siege of Boston, which trapped garrisoned British troops from moving by land, forcing the British to ultimately abandon Boston. Cambridge Common is thus celebrated as the birthplace of the Continental Army. Number 3. Springfield, Massachusetts. Springfield is the most populous city in and the seat of Hampton County, Massachusetts, United States. Springfield sits on the eastern bank of the Connecticut River near its confluence with three rivers: the Western Westfield River, the Eastern Chicopee River, and the Eastern Mill River. At the 2020 census, the city's population was 155,929, making it the third most populous city in the U.S. state of Massachusetts and the fourth most populous city in New England after Boston, Worcester, and Providence. Metropolitan Springfield, as one of two metropolitan areas in Massachusetts, the other being Greater Boston, had a population of 699,162 in 2020. Springfield was founded in 1636, the first Springfield in the New World. In the late 1700s, during the American Revolution, Springfield was designated by George Washington as the site of the Springfield Armory because of its central location. Subsequently, it was the site of Shays' Rebellion. The city would also play a pivotal role in the Civil War as a stop on the Underground Railroad and home of abolitionist John Brown, widely known for his raid on Harper's Ferry, and for the Armory's manufacture of the famed Springfield rifles used ubiquitously by Union troops. Closing during the Lyndon B. Johnson administration, today the National Park site features the largest collection of historic American firearms in the world. Today, the city is the largest in western New England and the urban, economic, and media capital of Massachusetts section of the Connecticut River Valley, colloquially known as the Pioneer Valley. Springfield has several nicknames: the City of Firsts, due to the many innovations developed there, such as the first American dictionary, the first American gas-powered automobile, and the first machining lathe for interchangeable parts; the City of Homes, due to its Victorian residential architecture; and Hoop City, as basketball was invented in Springfield in 1891 by Canadian James Naismith. Hartford, the capital of Connecticut, lies 24 miles 39 kilometers south of Springfield, on the western bank of the Connecticut River. The Hartford and Springfield region is known as the Knowledge Corridor because it hosts over 160,000 university students in over 32 universities and liberal arts colleges, the second highest concentration of higher learning institutions in the United States. The city of Springfield itself is home to Springfield College, Western New England University, American International College, and Springfield Technical Community College, among other higher educational institutions. Number 2. Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester is the second most populous city in the U.S. state of Massachusetts and the 114th most populous city in the United States. Named after Worcester, England, the city had 206,518 people at the 2020 census, also making it the second most populous city in New England, after Boston. Worcester is about 40 miles and 64 kilometers west of Boston, 50 miles and 80 kilometers east of Springfield, and 40 miles and 64 kilometers north and northwest of Providence. Because it is near the geographic center of Massachusetts, Worcester is known as the heart of the Commonwealth. A heart is the official symbol of the city. Worcester is the historical seat of Worcester County. Worcester developed as an industrial city in the 19th century because the Blackstone Canal and railways facilitated the import of raw materials and the export of such finished goods as machines, textiles, and wire. Many European immigrants made up the city's growing population. After World War II, manufacturing there waned. Economic and population decline was not reversed until the 1990s, when higher education, medicine, biotechnology, and new immigrants started making their mark. The population has grown by 28% since 1980, reaching its all-time high in the 2020 census and affecting urban renewal. Modern Worcester is known for its diversity and large immigrant population, with significant communities of Vietnamese, Brazilians, Albanians, Puerto Ricans, Ghanaians, Dominicans, and others. 22% of Worcester's population was born outside the United States. A center of higher education, it is home to 8 colleges and universities, including the College of the Holy Cross, Worcester Polytechnic Institute WPI, and Clark University. Worcester has many 19th-century triple-decker houses, Victorian-era mills and related buildings, and lunch car diners, such as Miss Worcester. Worcester is the principal city of central Massachusetts and is a regional hub of government, industry, and transportation hub. Since the 1970s, and especially since the construction of Route 146 and Interstates 90, 495, 190, 290, and 395, both Worcester and its surrounding towns have become more integrated with Boston suburbs. The Worcester region now marks the western periphery of the Boston and Worcester and Providence, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island and New Hampshire U.S. Census Combined Statistical Area CSA, or Greater Boston. Number 1. Boston, Massachusetts. Boston is the capital and most populous city in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the United States. The city serves as the cultural and financial center of the New England region of the northeastern United States. It has an area of 48.4 square miles and 125 square kilometers and a population of 675,647 as of the 2020 census, making it the third largest city in the Northeast after New York City and Philadelphia. The larger Greater Boston Metropolitan Statistical Area, which includes and surrounds the city, has a population of 4,919,179 as of 2023, making it the largest in New England and 11th largest in the country. Boston was founded on the Willamette Peninsula in 1630 by Puritan settlers. The city was named after Boston, Lincolnshire, England. During the American Revolution, Boston was home to several events that proved central to the Revolution and subsequent Revolutionary War, including the Boston Massacre 1770, the Boston Tea Party 1773, Paul Revere's Midnight Ride 1775, the Battle of Bunker Hill 1775, and the Siege of Boston 1775 to 1776. Following American independence from Great Britain, the city continued to play an important role as a port, manufacturing hub, and center for education and culture. The city also expanded significantly beyond the original peninsula by filling in land and annexing neighboring towns. Boston's many firsts include the United States' first public park, Boston Common, 1634, the first public school, Boston Latin School, 1635, and the first subway system, Tremont Street Subway, 1897. Boston has emerged as a global leader in higher education and research and the largest biotechnology hub in the world. The city is also a national leader in scientific research, law, medicine, engineering, and business. With nearly 5,000 startup companies, the city is considered a global pioneer in innovation and entrepreneurship, and more recently in artificial intelligence. Boston's economy also includes finance, professional and business services, information technology, and government activities. Boston households provide the highest average rate of philanthropy in the nation, and the city's businesses and institutions rank among the top in the nation for environmental sustainability and new investment.